We are overprotecting our kids in the real world, but there is no or failing protection in the digital one. Call me old-fashioned, but I don't want my growing up teens to see everything on the internet. It's time to take full control of our family's internet using nothing more than a Raspberry Pi and AdGuard. This works not only at home, but also when they use their devices outside on 5G or at a friend's Wi-Fi. You decide exactly what domains can be reached, and we will be using gigantic blacklists that are being updated every 24 hours. Want to whitelist a domain? No problem. We will set it up in this way so you can allow domains per device via your smartphone from anywhere you are in the world. And don't worry, in case you have a power outage or the Raspberry Pi with AdGuard crashes, we're setting up a bulletproof fallback. Oh, and by the way, this system will also block ads across every single website. And don't worry if you're not technical or you have never ever touched a Raspberry Pi before. We're gonna take it slow, step by step, so even you can protect your family online. For this tutorial, we are going to use a Raspberry Pi 4 with only 2 GB. It's unbelievable, I know, but that's the only thing we need. Of course, we're gonna put it inside of its case right here. So then we have this beautiful Pi looking here. Make sure that you have a 32 GB SD card. So we're gonna use that one. Also, the thing you need is of course a memory card reader. We have to make sure that we have over here an Ethernet cable. We will be using this one. You cannot use only your Wi-Fi for the AdGuard setup we're going to create. And finally, last but not least, you need to have the original Raspberry Pi charger. USB-C, but it has to be from Raspberry Pi. You cannot use your mobile phone charger. It is just not powerful enough. Alright, if you have all this, we can start. The very first thing we need to do is we take our SD card. We're going to place it inside of the card reader and put this one inside of your PC. To make your life easier, I've created a dedicated page for this tutorial. So you won't make any typos and you can just copy paste everything we're going to do inside of this tutorial. To go there, you go to mathtutorials.com/raspberry. This link is also in the description of this video and in the comment section. And while you're in the comment section, please leave a like, tell me from where you're watching. If you have any questions, drop it down, will be awesome. You will find everything we need during this tutorial. If you don't yet have a Raspberry Pi, I would be forever grateful if you use my affiliate link. It goes to Amazon, and there you can just pick out any starter kit with any Raspberry Pi. You don't pay any more, but I get a small commission, so thank you very much. The first step we're going to do is we need to download Raspberry Pi Imager. So we click over here. We need this program to install the operating system on the SD card for our Raspberry Pi. Then we're going to choose the language we want to use. Press OK. And then welcome to the Raspberry Pi image setup wizard. Press on Next. I accept the agreement. Press on Next and press Next. And again, press Next. And then we press Finish and Launch. Then we select our Raspberry device. In this case, I have a Raspberry Pi 4. Press on Next. In my last Raspberry 5 tutorial, we created the ultimate media center / torrent box. You can see it over here, and it was a lot of fun and it works perfectly. Stream movies straight to your smartphone, to your spouse's smartphone, to your children. It works perfect. But this time we're going to use Home Assistant operating system. Why? Because I'm also going to create a smart home and you can enjoy it in my next tutorial. We are going to use this one. We're going to use these smart plugs so you get a message when your laundry is done. We're going to use this temperature and humidity sensors combined with a siren. And also we're going to use this door window sensors. And we're going to have a lot of fun because my teenagers, they just shower way too long. But we're going to stop that in combination with a siren. And this humidity sensor is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to scroll down and we're going for the other specific purpose OS. You can see home automation in here. Click on it. Then we scroll down and we go with Home Automation Operating Systems. Click that one. We scroll down again and we're going to use Home Assistant. And then again, we're going to use this one, Home Assistant OS 17.0. Click on it and press on Next. Then we need to select our storage device. Make sure this is the right SD card because everything on this card will be erased. At least 32 GB. Press on Next. and we press on write. I understand, erase and write. Once we're done, take it out of the SD card reader, take up your Pi and put it in over here. In the backend, you can only put it one way, slide it in. It will stick out a little bit just like this, so you can easily remove it again. Plug one Ethernet cable inside of your router, the other end in your Raspberry Pi, and then we can put in the power plug and it will boot up. Make sure the red light is on and the green light is flashing. Then we go back to my website and we're going to use this URL. You can select it, right click on it, press open link in new tab, sure, or just copy it, paste it in over there and press enter. If you see this, you know everything's working. If you don't see anything, make sure your cables are connected the right way and your Raspberry Pi has had the time to boot up. Then we're going to click over here, create my smart home. First, we're going to create the master user account. So pick out a name, it will be Matt. Make sure to create a really strong password and save it inside of your password manager. And then we press over here on create account. Now we can add in your address. If you're not fine with this or you don't want the system to know it, just press on next. Then you can help improve Home Assistant by allowing all this data to be sent to Home Assistant. Normally I don't have a problem with this, especially when it's open source, so we have to help the community. But this time I'm using a Raspberry Pi 4 with only 2 GB of RAM, so I don't know, I'm not gonna do it this time. Press on next. Then Home Assistant has already found some compatible devices. Great, just press on finish. And here we are. Now Home Assistant has been loaded in as our operating system. Now make sure to subscribe to the channel because the next tutorial will be amazing to add in some real energy saving features to our smart home, especially when you have teenagers. Before we're going to install AdGuard, we need to have a static IP address on our network, which is very important to route all the traffic through our Raspberry Pi 4. So we go to settings, we go over here to system, and then we go to network. So you go to your IPv4, you click on that one, and we're going to change this to static. Then the only thing we need to change here is the DNS server, and we're going to 4 times the 1. This is the one you need. And then we go over here and we click on save. Well done. And we go back to settings over here. Then we go to add-ons and we go over here to the add-ons store. Then we go to search for the add-on called AdGuard Home. Click on it. And then we're going to press on install. Then we're going to enable this one. And also we're going to add it to the sidebar. And then we press over here on start. Click over there, open web UI. Welcome to AdGuard. The first thing we're going to do is set up the DNS settings. So we go over here to settings, DNS settings. Then we're going to add in our own upstream DNS servers. Copy the first 2 of them, 1113 and 1003. Copy this one. Go over here, select all of this and press paste. Then the last one, we scroll down and we go to Bootstrap DNS servers. We're going to change this one to 1111. Then we scroll down here and we press on apply. Then we scroll all the way up and we click over here on filters. And then we go to DNS block lists. Then we're going to disable the AdGuard DNS filter and we're going to press on add block list. And then we're going to press on add a custom list. Now these DNS filters make sure that every URL that's being sent through the Pi via a smart device or via your computer or laptop will be checked against this entire list. Now, AdGuard uses a really smart system that it doesn't cost any time at all, just a few milliseconds to check your request against this entire list. But we're going to use a separate list created by a guy called Hagazi. I hope I say it the right way. We're going to use 2 lists of Hagazi, the Pro Plus, which is this one, and the not suitable for work list. If you want to check out all the lists that this guy created and being maintained by a lot of people on GitHub in a community, click on this button. Then you will go to GitHub. Don't worry, just scroll a bit down and here you will see DNS block list for a better internet. Safer and cleaner internet. It always seems impossible until it's done. I like this text. Now, if you scroll down, you can read everything it has about all these different kind of lists, and he has created a lot of them. So you can just select your own one. If you, for example, want to have this one, the Multi-Pro Extended, and make sure to look for AdGuard over there, and then just use this link, right click, copy it and place it inside of a filter. That's the way you can create your own custom filters. In this case, I've selected the Hagezi Pro Plus for you. This stops ads and malware and all these things, and the not suitable for work for our growing kids inside of our house with their smart devices. First, copy the name, then we're gonna paste it in over here, and then copy the URL and paste it in over here. If you're wondering what are the domains inside of this Pro Plus file, just open up a new tab, enter in the link in there, and here you can see all the domains that are inside of this file. Now, these are a lot. 211,000 websites, and last modified the 20th of January 2026, yesterday. So these lists are very accurate, and there are a lot of them, but not too much, because we're only running on a Pi 4 with only 2 GB of RAMs. So I just want this one. Gonna paste it in over here and press on save. Now, if you press on save, it will load in this entire list. There we go. And it's been added in there. All right, we're gonna add another one, add block list, add a custom list. And this contains all the nasty sites that we don't want to have our kids growing up with and seeing on the internet just with one click in their back pocket. We don't want that. So we press over here on save. Now, these two lists will filter out the most nasty stuff on the internet, and that's exactly what we want. Now, you don't have to agree with me, but my two oldest kids, they're 14 and 12, I don't want them to go to TikTok, to Instagram, to Facebook. And by the way, if you're doubting on how strict you should be with your children and on social media use and screen time, make sure to read this book from Jonathan Haidt called The Anxious Generation. It really opened up my eyes. It's all scientific research shown to you throughout the years, and all the effects all these things have, all these screens have, all these social media have on our children. Make sure to read it because it's definitely a must read for every parent out there. You can follow the affiliate link. I will be grateful. And if you don't follow the link, I'm fine with it. Just read the book. You click over here on filters and you go to custom filtering rules. Now here you can put in any domain you want, and there are specific rules. For example, these two pipes. So you have to type in pipe, and then we type in instagram.com. And behind that is this, I don't know what's it called, a rooftop, I don't know, something like that. It will make that it will block access to instagram.com and all its subdomains. There we go. Now we're gonna do that also for Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I don't want them to be on that. And then we press over here on apply. Now, if you want to check it, go over here and type in, for example, instagram.com, and we just client identifier, doesn't really matter. I just want to press check, and custom filtering rules, it will be blocked. This is the way we want it. Now, as a content creator, I do have to be on Instagram and TikTok, because basically if I don't do it, someone else, some guy from Russia will steal my videos, rip them and put them on those platforms, and they're getting money instead of me. So I have to access these things. Well, we can easily do that. We go to settings, and then we go to client settings. And then we press over here on add client. You're going to add in a name you can recognize, for example, YouTube Studio. And then we have to fill in an identifier. Now, the best identifier you can use is basically the MAC address. That's a burnt-in address, burnt inside of your smartphone on your Wi-Fi transmitter. It will never change. To get those MAC addresses, we need to log into our router. I have gotten these from my ISP, and we're going to log in in here anyways. So make sure to get out your IP address, your manual, how to get inside of your router, because we need to tell the router that we're going to use the Raspberry Pi 4 as a DNS systems. And it has to be set up inside of this one. So make sure you have access to it. Press on sign in. Then over here, I go to home network. This looks different for everybody, but you have to go to some place that has DHCP on it. If you look at this one and you scroll down, you will see all the addresses and the leases that are currently live. I'm just gonna copy this MAC addresses because this is from my Ryzen 9 RTX 3090, which is my YouTube Studio computer. And then I paste it in over here. Perfect. If you want to give yourself the VIP pass, you can use the global settings. You can turn this off. And now this specific IP address with this MAC addresses will go through AdGuard, but it can do anything you want. Then you can go to block specific services. In this case, all these services are being blocked. So you have to enable this one and press on unblock all. And now you know for sure that you can go anywhere in these services, also Telegram and Steam and all these things. You have access right now with this specific MAC address. All right, then we press over here and save. Now let me also do that with my spouse's iPhone. Put in the MAC identifier over here. We're gonna block domains using filter and host file, but she's not gonna be happy if she cannot use any of these services. So I press over here on save. There we go. Now we are using those lists, but we can still come into all these social media channels that we want. And later on, if you notice that some things are blocked and your spouse cannot go there, but she wants to go there, you can press over here and you can still edit all these things that you want. All right, excellent. Add in all the devices that you want for a seamless flow. Now that we've got our list ready with clients, we need to teach our Raspberry Pi one more thing. It's about to become the new traffic controller for our entire home and outside. We are heading over to the DHCP settings in AdGuard. This is where we'll input that list of MAC addresses we just copied from our router. Now, why is this so important? Well, we want our Ring doorbell, for example, our studio PC and the Wi-Fi extender and the Chromecast to stay exactly where they are at the same IP address they've always had. This will make sure that no troubles will become when we hit that switch. We're also going to set a safe range from 100 to 200. This means any new device that joins our network, like a friend's phone, will automatically get a number inside of that range. We're keeping the lower numbers, like 1 through 50, reserved for our own critical gear to keep things organized. One big rule: do not click enable just yet. We're only setting the stage in the background. In the next step, we're finally going to flip the switch on the router and let the Raspberry Pi take the lead. Let's get these addresses locked in first before we're going to hit that switch. We go over here to settings and we go to DHCP settings. Click on it. First, we need to select the DHCP interface. So you click on this one and you go, we don't want to have Docker 0, we don't want Hesio, we want this one, the 192.86, because that is your local router. So we're gonna select this one. In my case, it's called N0. It might be something else with you, but it has to be 192.168 and then something else. It's like in a hotel, you have room number 1, room number 3, room number 4. You don't know the address exactly where the hotel is, but you know the exact room. Now, this is the internal network. In this hotel, this room is the right DHCP interface. So select that one. Then you can see that the gateway IP address has already been filled in with this address. If you copy this one and you press on open link, you have to come here, the router inlock page. Very important. It has to be the right one, or else you won't have internet after the switch. Then the subnet mask should be 255.255.255.0. Great, keep it like this. Then we have the range of IP addresses. Again, automatically, this has been put on this one, 2, but then from 100 to 200. This is great. No need to change this one. Then we have the lease time, which is exactly 24 hours. That's the same that we have right now. So just keep it like this. It's perfect. After that, we're going to type in all these information. It's basically already correct, but we need to type it in again to make sure that it works. So we're just going to copy this one, paste it in over here. Also for the subnet mask, 255.255.0. Range of IP addresses is almost the same, but then 100. Paste it in over here, 200. There we go. And the lease time, 86411. Great. Now your DHCP IPv6 setting should look like this. The range of your IP addresses. This one over here until the colon there. So press copy. Then we're gonna paste it in and we use 100. But then over there you need to type in the same thing with 200. But in my browser it just doesn't work. Whatever I try to do, it just doesn't want to work. But where's the trick for that? Right click on it, press inspect. Then you see this. You can see this disabled. So delete this, click, click, click. There we go. Press enter. Now we can really change this. So we're going to copy this one, put it in over there and put in 200. And then we press on save configuration. There we go. And now it works. and then we can scroll down and we can add our static leases. So press on add static lease. And then we're going to add in all the current active devices we have seen in our router login. So we're just simply going to add in this one, the MAC address and the IP4 address, all to the AdGuard settings. All right, once you've added all the DHCP static leases, you are good to go. And also keep in mind that some devices are not connected to the internet right now, so you won't see them in the DHCP leases. Don't worry, it will automatically be given a new DHCP lease from AdGuard, so don't worry, just make sure that everything you have access to right now is in there, because it will just make the transition way smoother. Let's go to the next step. It's time to change the switch on your router to send every traffic from all your network through AdGuard. It's easy, but take your time. So that means if it's Friday at 5 p.m. right now at your place, don't do it. You might want to do it when everything is easy in the morning, when you have the time to troubleshoot, to undo things. If you mess something up, I don't know, if you follow the tutorial step by step, it should work, but you never know because the theory is always different than the real life. Make sure to have this page ready. Do not click this enable DHCP server just yet. Hold on a bit or else things will get messy. Log into your router. Then we go to home network. In my case, it looks a bit different at your place. I know. They need to go to DHCP. What we're going to do is we're going to disable this switch. So we click on it. And once you click on this apply button, you need to go to AdGuard and enable it from there. All right. So we press over here on apply. Then we press on save. That's great. Close. Then we go to AdGuard. Then you first click on this blue button, scan for. Could not scan. All right, great. No problem at all. Just press over here, enable DHCP server. And now it has been enabled and everything should work the way it should. Now, if you see this, you see 000 and basically all the internet is not working anymore. So on your computer, you can go to your AdGuard, but you cannot go to some website. Then you know something is wrong. Don't worry, what you need to do right now is pretty simple. If you followed every single step, everything is okay. But don't worry, the only thing you need to do is basically restart AdGuard. You go over here to settings, then we go to add-ons, and you click on AdGuard Home, and then we click over here on restart, this button. If you click on it, everything will be restarted. It takes a couple of seconds. If you don't see anything changing just yet and you've already restarted AdGuard, you restarted your Raspberry Pi, then it's time to restart your entire router. So unplug it from the wall socket and wait for 1-2 minutes. And after that, put it back in and then everything should work fine. Then you go over here to AdGuard Home and then you will see that your connections will start and the DNS queries will start pouring in like crazy. You can see over here exactly what has been looked up, and also look at this, there's already things being blocked out. This is excellent. Now, what we want to do is we want to test the not suitable for work filter, of course. So what do I do over here? I go to a browser and I go to google.com and I type in, yeah, I've blocked it out. Now we can see that Safe Search is locked to filter by your network or device. This is exactly what I want. And if I go to images right now, you will see nothing really shocking. Don't see the actual things that we don't want to see. Now, if I just try to go to a website like this, yeah, I know, then it's blocked perfectly. This is exactly what I wanted. And also when I now go to my AdGuard, go to query log in here, and you can just search for any domain or client, just type it in, and we can see, here we go, these has been blocked. The client is over here because it was in my YouTube studio. It has been blocked to all these domains. And that's perfect. You know what's also really great? If I go to my dashboard and you scroll down, you can see the average upstream response time is 12 milliseconds. I don't even notice the delay in a visiting website. It's like instant, and that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Let's try to do the same on my phone. I go over here, I open up a new one, and I go over here to some nasty sites. I can't see anything. That's great. I go directly to the site and I can see again this message. This site is not available. This is perfect. Error, invalid URL. Now this just works exactly the way I want it. And then you can see also again the websites we don't want to visit in here are blocked by Hagezi and not suitable for work filter. So this works really great. I'm very happy with this. Before I show you exactly how to force smartphones, laptops, all these things to use your Raspberry Pi via AdGuard, using just your cellular, using Wi-Fi from the neighbor or from a friend, it will still go through your Raspberry Pi. It's possible. Before that, I want to show you how to whitelist things. So let's say you're working on your PC and something doesn't work. You go over here to query log and you can just type in anything you want. Let me show you how that works. Right now I need to go to my Instagram to put something on there, but it's blocked. In the query log, I look for Instagram and I can see, hey, the YouTube studio just a second ago tried to go to instagram.com, but I want to unblock this for this client only. This weighs heavier than the list we put in there from Hagezi. So, and if I now go to instagram.com, still having trouble, but we also need to allow this one, unblock for this client, unblock for this client only. And now this user can go to Instagram with no problem at all. And yes, that definitely means that in the beginning phases, you will be unblocking a lot of things that your family member says, hey, that's not working. Why is this not working? That I need to go in there. Ah, this block. But you have to unblock it every single time until everything settles down and you have the perfect internet filter. Trust me, your future self and your teens will be grateful in the long run. To do this way more easier on the go, we are going to connect AdGuard to our smartphone. So you can log in every single time and unblock everything that's going on. It's pretty easy to do that. You just go to the App Store. And here we're going to look for the app called Home Assistant. There we go. We're just going to download it and press twice to install it. Then we press over here on Open. And we're going to press on Make connection with my Home Assistant over here. Press Allow. And then it's going to look for the Home Assistant. There we are, it already found it. So we press on Connect. Welcome home. We're just going to log in with our credentials and we press on Login. How do we want to call this device? This is great. Matt's iPhone. Got it. Share my location. That's also useful. By use WinApp. All right. Change to always. And then we press on Next, Next. There we are. And now we are logged in into our Home Assistant. I want to allow push notifications. Allow this one. Yes, allow also. Then we go over here and you can go to AdGuard Home right there. And you can go from AdGuard Home. You can go to your query log and you can see exactly what's going on. For example, your spouse really wants to get into Facebook. We just click on this one. Then you can see status is blocked and you can press over here on unblock right there or unblock for this client only, which is the safest way to keep it blocked for everyone else, but not for this specific device. And that's the way it also works from everywhere you are on your smartphone. Really useful. The problem is, however, if I am not home, look at this. I disconnect my Wi-Fi. I'm on my 5Gs. The connection has been lost and I cannot log in anymore. If you've seen my other tutorial about the media center and the Raspberry Pi 5, then you know we've already set up Tailscale to create an invisible cable from my Raspberry Pi to my computer, to my iPhone, to basically any device that we want. To do that also on Home Assistant, we go again to Settings and we go to Add-ons. Then we go to the add-on store and we're gonna type in over here Tailscale. There we go, and we're gonna press on Install. If you want to know how to sign up for the very first time, go watch my other tutorial about the Media Center and Torrent Box tutorial, and I'll show you exactly step by step how to set up Tailscale. But it's basically not that difficult. We have come so far, so you can also do that one. First, we need to enable the watchdog and add to sidebar, and then we press on Start. And we also need Tailscale to force our children's devices to go via AdGuard, because that's basically what we want, to be protected anywhere. All right, to do it, go to Open Web UI. And we need to log in with Tailscale. Press Login. Then I have signed in with Microsoft previously, so I'm going to use this one. Then we are logged in. I don't need to sign in with this just once, so I press No. And then I'm going to connect Home Assistant to the Raspberry Pi 5 Tailnet. All right, sure, press Connect. Login successful. And then we can over here visit the console. This is the overview of all our machines inside of the Tailnet. You can see my iPhone, my spouse's iPhone, my laptop, my Raspberry Pi 5 Media Center, my YouTube Studio PC, but also now my Home Assistant has different kind of tags. It can function as subnet, exit node, and a connector. Awesome! One thing you have to keep in mind that every 6 months the key will expire on all the different devices. So you have to log in again in Tailscale and then another 6 months go in. But if you don't want to do that, just click over here on all your devices and press Disable Key Expiry. This way the key will not expire and you don't have to log in again via Tailscale on all your different devices. What do we need to do is we click on the name over here. We click on Routing Settings, press on Exit Edit, and we're going to use this as an exit node. Then we're going to press over here on Approve All of them, and then we press on Save. Then one more thing we need to change. First we're going to copy this address, so press on Copy. Then we go over here to DNS and you go to the global name server. We're going to press on Add Name Server. We're going to press on Custom. And we're going to use our own Raspberry Pi Home Assistant IP address from Tailnet. And use this one, use as an exit node and press Save. There we go. Now we have global name servers and we're going to press Override DNS servers. On my device, look at this. I'm connected using 5G and with the VPN of Tailscale. And if I now try to search for something nasty like this, you can see immediately it's not in here. I cannot go to there. I can go to images and again we can see that it's nothing, well, a little bit, but it's not, you cannot directly see it. So this works perfectly. This is also the place where we're going to build in our failsafe. So if our Raspberry Pi 4 Home Assistant fails or AdGuard just crashes or there's a power outage, the entire house is without power and we need internet. So I go to my 5G, which still works, but I cannot connect to my Pi, so oh no problem. We're gonna fix that right now. What you're going to do is add name server and we're going to add in a custom name server. We're going to add in over here the Cloudflare family DNS. It's 1.1.1.3. Also use this with exit node and press Save. Now you can see first it's going to use our Raspberry Pi 4 AdGuard. If that one does not respond in what for reason, whatever, it will go to Cloudflare family, which is also a good filter, but not that good as we cannot control it 100%. And if that one also fails, we can also add another one, which is 1.0.0.3, which is also from Cloudflare family. Press Save. And if all three don't work, you can simply, as dad or as mom, just disable Tailscale on your phone and they can connect via your hotspot or something like that. No worries. It's just for the kids. You know, we have to protect our kids. This is the way to do it. I have here the phone of my daughter. Let me show you exactly how to set smartphones up from your children so they will be forced to always use AdGuard no matter where they are and what kind of connection they have. The first thing you do is you go over here to the App Store. This also works on Android, of course, and you search for Tailscale. There we go. And we go to Get It. Then we press on Open. And we open up Tailscale. Now we need to log in to our Tailnet that we already configured. So we press on Get Started. I understand. Allow notifications. Allow. And we're going to press on Install. We're going to press on Allow again. Then you need to enter in your iPhone passcode. Then we press over here on Connect. And then we need to log in with Tailscale. So we press on Continue. And we're going to log in. Again, I'm going to choose Sign in with Microsoft. Then I need to log in using my security key. And then I do not want to stay signed in because it's not my device. So I press on No, because it only has to log in once. And then we press over here on Connect. And there we are. Now we are in our Tailnet and then we see our Home Assistant over there. Now this is the trick. You click on Exit Node and you select Home Assistant. And we're going to enable this one. As you can see, now our VPN is loaded, so that's perfect. Two things you have to keep in mind when using the exit nodes on all your different devices. The first one is all the query logs will be added to local host. So you won't be seeing it per person if they are away from home. But that's something I can live with. They still have full security and it will filter the entire internet, so that's perfect. The second one is that, especially on older phones, it will drain your battery a little bit faster because it has to encrypt everything and it has to decrypt it. What comes back to it, it will be all milliseconds, but the CPU of your devices, the processor, is working a bit harder. And you will see that in draining battery. My kids can still do an entire day with their phone, that's no problem at all, but just something to keep in mind. The next thing, we go over here to our settings. We go to VPN on demand and we go to enable this one. And we're gonna enable this Wi-Fi always, cellular always. Then I'm going to change the device name over here so I can recognize what it is. Now you will notice in AdGuard that my iPhone has been connected. Perfect. But how to make sure that they never disable Tailscale? You have to do that in the master account of the iPhones. So now I'm back on my own iPhone and I go over here to settings. And on the settings, I'm going to search for the app called Screen Time. There we go. Now I go to the screen time of my daughter. I go in here. Then we go to see all app and website activity. And we go over here to Tailscale. And in Tailscale, what you're going to do is going to add a limit. And the limit is 0 hours and 0 minutes every day and block at the end of the limit. If I now press save, it will not be possible for my daughter to open up the Tailscale app. That's very important. But we can do more. And then the final thing to do is to hold this one and press remove app and just remove it from the begin screen. It's still here. Look at this. The VPN is still running, but they cannot shut it down. Now the Tailscale always on feature is the secret key here, because if I now go to my settings, it looks like I can turn off VPN. But if I do that, you will notice immediately that the Wi-Fi access will also stop. You see this? She has no access to the internet right now. And if she wants access, she needs to keep the VPN on. It also works with 4 or 5G and works with every single Wi-Fi address. So this basically is the pro way she cannot work around. Now keep in mind that after activating Tailscale on their device, within 24 hours you will notice that your child's phone doesn't have internet at all. Nothing works anymore. What do you do then is you open up Screen Time. You make Tailscale available for just, 15 minutes. You open it up, you disable it, and you log in again. And that's basically it. From there on, you will never have to do that again. Lock it via Screen Time, just like I showed you. And it works. I mean, we've been running it for weeks now, and it simply just works. To make this also work on your child's laptops, it's pretty easy. The first thing you need to have, of course, is your parent account, and the kids need to log in on their own kids account in Microsoft Windows, for example. Then you make sure on your main account you install Tailscale, and then you install it and you connect it with your own Tailnet. Then in the bar right over there, you change it and you make sure that it always runs unattended. That's the secret key. Then you log out from your account, you log into your kids account, and you will see Tailscale is always running automatically via your Raspberry Pi, and they cannot turn it off. The only downside is when they shut down their PC, they will get a notification that, hey, something else is running. Are you sure you want to shut down? Then they just have to press OK and all works. And every time they boot up, Tailscale is automatically loaded and they are connecting to the internet via AdGuard. Final step is to make sure that AdGuard does not destroy your SD card with all these millions of query logs being saved inside of your SD card. Remember, SD cards are actually not created for this intense usage. So what are we going to do? We go to settings in here, then we go to general settings. And first of all, you have to make sure that the filter update interval is enabled. And then we scroll down to logs configuration. And here we can see that the query logs rotation before it starts overwriting the old logs is on 90 days. That's extremely a lot if you run it on an SD card in your Raspberry Pi. So I would suggest you put this on 7 days for the upcoming 7 days. So you can see the queries, what's going on, maybe talk to your teens about some behavior that's not okay. This way you can just, keep things under tap. But after that period and everything runs smoothly, you can change this to 24 hours. You really don't have to save all that information for longer. Well, maybe if you have some teams and you want to check it, well, just figure it out. All right, I'm going to put it on 7 days and press on save. There we go. Configuration successfully saved. The last thing I want to show you is how you can get a push message on your mobile phone when AdGuard suddenly crashes or doesn't work anymore or something bad is happening on your Raspberry Pi. You can do that within Home Assistant. To do that, we go over here to Settings, then we go to Devices and Services, and then you can see AdGuard Home over here. We have to press on Add, and then we press on Submit. Alright, device has been created, just press Skip and Finish. Now we have enabled the integration with AdGuard with Home Assistant. Beautiful! Then we go over here to Settings, we go to Automations and Scenes, and we go to press on Create Automation and create a new automation. Then you can do this all manually, but we can also just do it the easy way. Press on these 3 dots and go to Edit in YAML. Then you go to my website, we scroll a bit down and we're going to copy this entire YAML notification, press copy, and over here select everything and then paste it in over here. Beautiful. The only thing we need to change is this, mobile app your device here. So we first press on save, press rename, we go over here to settings, let's open it up in a new tab, it's more easier. Then we go over here to devices and services, then we go to devices, and we can see we have a lot of devices, but here is my phone. What we then do, we click on it, we need to copy the name. So you just copy this one, press copy, and then we go back to our other tab, and we're just going to paste it in over here, paste. But then you can see the capitals, and you have to make sure it's in lowercase or else nothing will work. So we're gonna put it on Matt's iPhone 16 Pro Max, just like this. And then we press again on save. Now, if we want to test this, we go over here to AdGuard Home. I'm just going to press on this button, Disable Protection Now, and within 20 seconds, my phone will start making a lot of noise, and even when it's on silent mode or it's just been disabled like this. For this to work, of course, there we go. Security alert, AdGuard Home protection has been disabled. The network is now unfiltered. Excellent. If you have any questions or you just want to say, hey, thanks, Matt, drop it down in the comments. I'll always read it and I always reply. I really hope your internet for your entire family has become a lot more safer and better right now with this tutorial. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more amazing Raspberry Pi or home automation videos, because we're gonna have a lot of fun by making sure that our teens are not using all the gas in the house, because those bills are getting gigantic. So make sure to watch these videos. Have a great day and hope to see you in the next video.